Alright, so here's Bernie Sanders again being disingenuous and engaging in some sleight of hand. He's saying, look at all these countries where your student loan debt would be $0. And in the US it's about 10 grand. Okay, right off the bat, what is he omitting? Well, for the rest of your life in these countries, you're going to be paying a hefty percentage of your income in taxes. And that's not even something you can dig your way out of. From the time you begin working till the time you're ready to retire, you will always have that money taken away from you because their government wrote that number down on a piece of paper and you owe them that amount till the day you die, and there's nothing you can do to get away from it. You make around $100,000 a year in Sweden? Oh, no, you don't. You make about $60,000 because the government jacks 40 grand from you. Now, if you want to defend that, fine, but you do not get to put a price tag of $0 next to anything that the Swedes, the Norwegians, or the Finnish get for, quote, free. Having tens of thousands of dollars taken away from you every year and then you get services in return is not free. The price tag is not $0. This could be explained to a 5-year-old, honestly. It's ridiculous that Bernie Sanders, and frankly his supporters, don't understand basic reality. If I take money away from you, then I pay someone else to give you something. It did not have a price tag of $0 for you. It is as simple as that. And by the way, I've talked a lot about Scandinavian countries, and just to give a brief overview, these countries have a history of ebbing and flowing from very free market systems to heavily statist systems. During the periods of free market capitalism, they flourish and prosper to an exceptional degree. Then, as it tends to happen in wealthy countries, statism begins to creep in and take over, and then they have to reverse course, which is exactly what happened to Sweden in the 70s and 90s, for example. They can have a decent period of time where they can throw around the wealth they created during their more free market periods, but that party always ends. And you can already see those cracks starting to form already. It will happen. But anyway, back to education in the US. Of course, we all know it is government meddling and the government takeover that has caused the sky-high prices in the US that we see. All I need to do is bring up the incident that occurred a few months ago with Maxine Waters, in which she was speaking with some of the top banking CEOs in the US, and she asked them what they were doing to help the student loan crisis, and they needed to remind her that the government nearly completely took it over and they no longer give out student loans. That was a highly embarrassing moment for Maxine Waters. I mean, the government is so big, some of its employees don't even know what it's in charge of anymore, and that's not a good look. But anyway, yes, of course, the government is the main source of loans for higher education, so much so that it stands to make $127 billion over the next 10 years off of these loans. So where does this knee-jerk reaction from Bernie Sanders come from to punish Wall Street? Which, by the way, Wall Street should not be as nearly as big as it is, but that's a whole other video on the Federal Reserve, the greatest government creature ever. But anyway, this is just another tweet from Bernie Sanders that showcases how disingenuous the guy is. He would steal money from you, keep a bit of it for himself, but then give you something of lesser value in return, and then claim you got it for free. It is absurd. But that is it for now. Please share this video and take it easy.